Hello, this is Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Please hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Hitting the like button really helps out the channel. Now, if you find my content interesting, maybe hit the subscribe button, and also consider becoming a channel member. I would really appreciate it. Today's video is regarding the almost 900 pages of documents released in a FOIA request procured by a channel called The Docket. He's really good at getting documents in various cases out there. He even has all the documents in the Shabusiness case. So I'm going to be going over the elements of the document that I found most interesting. There's a whole bunch more that are very interesting, but I'm trying to put this together in an order that makes sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with this clip from the document right here. It said, Jennifer stated the last time she saw Madeline was on the night of Sunday, February 25th, 2024 at approximately 11 p.m. inside the home when she was going to bed. At this time, Jennifer sent Madeline and Stefan up to the guest bedroom. That's absolutely crazy at this point. At this time, Jennifer sent Madeline and Stefan, I guess is how you say it, but who gives a damn how to pronounce his name? They were sent up to the guest bedroom. All three were originally going to sleep in Jennifer's bed. However, Jennifer stated she needed to get some rest due to her new job making her very tired. She would sleep better alone, and Stefan was going to get Madeline ready for school in the morning anyway. Stefan no longer lives in the home with Jennifer and Madeline, as he moved out in December of 2023. However, he has come to visit 2 or 3 times since then. When Stefan visits the home, he will sleep in the guest bedroom upstairs while Madeline and Jennifer sleep together downstairs. So man, on this night, Jennifer sent Madeline and Stefan upstairs to sleep together alone away from her because she needed a good night's sleep. That's pretty incredible. Now check this out. Remember how we went over this a long time ago on Court TV? I think I'll be on Court TV tonight as well, but this telegram, look at what time this was. Remember, you have to subtract 5 hours, so it was actually 11:49 p.m. on telegram. They were up in the room alone at 11. So what was Stefan Stearns doing at 11:49 on telegram? I think this investigation is going to go into a much deeper realm. I think Stefan Stearns, this is just my opinion, was taking photos, uploading and sharing them on various social media platforms that are encrypted like Telegram. And this is the following morning. Now, here's the thing. Jennifer and Stefan, neither one of them were at Madeline's birthday party. Stefan Stearns showed up at the house at around 10:30 or so, or a little bit later that night, and Jennifer came home at around 11. It says time she had woken up on February 26, 2024, to which she stated she believes sometime between 8 and 8:15 hours is when she woke up, because Stefan had gone into the room to put the leash on the dog. Jennifer got up to assist Stefan with placing the leash on the dog because she did not want him to pee on the bed. Jennifer heard people in the kitchen. As far as she knew, Maddie had gone downstairs to get ready for school. So in this one, we see that she didn't actually see Madeline at all. She just assumed that she was getting ready for school. Jennifer then stated Maddie had a makeshift room in the living room that had a television, a desk, a dresser, and a bed. Maddie only used this room to hang out and would never sleep there. I asked Jennifer if she visually observed Maddie on the morning of February 26, 2024, to which she stated no. Okay, so she did come forward and was honest about not actually seeing Maddie getting ready for school. I asked if she had heard her, and she stated she heard people in the kitchen, but was not sure if it was her specifically. Jennifer then stated the last time she had physically seen Maddie was on February 25th, 2024 at 11 p.m. hours when she had sent her to bed. So Jennifer came home sometime that night around 10:30, 11. Stefan shows up around that same time, but she just wanted a good night's sleep. She got a new job. Apparently, the whatever elements of it about it make her tired, so she wanted a good night's sleep and sent Stefan and Maddie up to room number 4, they call it, where there's actually the number 4 on the bedroom upstairs, and that's where they went to go to sleep together. I mean, in knowing what had happened after that, that just is absolutely mind-boggling. On February 26, 2024, Jennifer got out of bed at approximately 9 a.m. So even though she was woke up at like 8:15, she stayed in bed until 9 a.m., she says, and left the residence around 9:30, which apparently is true. She had a doctor's appointment because she had a doctor's appointment scheduled for 10:15. Jennifer returned home between 11 and 11:15 and believes Stefan was home at this time. I asked Jennifer what she and Stefan did when they reunited at the residence. Jennifer stated they had chatted for a little bit. So we're getting a little bit better timeline elements put in here, although it's hard to trust exactly anything that Jennifer or Stefan said, but it seems like this one's a little bit more truthful because now she's admitting that she didn't see Madeline at all on the 26th. So now let's take a look at some of the timeline information that was in these documents. So now we have more information. So we know that at 7:36 in the morning, Stefan Stearns is seen putting items into the dumpster. Now, when law enforcement went back to the dumpster, they found a white plastic bag that contained a backpack and crock. Inside the backpack was her laptop. So Maddie's laptop, backpack, and one of her Croc shoes were all in that white plastic bag. And that was at 7:36. At around 7:50 a.m., Stefan Stearns is seen leaving the complex. Now we finally have this filled in on the timeline. It was something that we had missing for a while. So he's leaving at 7:50, and Madeline is seen in the vehicle, propped up with her head tilted to the side, and it looks like she's lifeless. And then the vehicle takes off and eventually ends up in this area at I think at 8:10, and the vehicle is spotted in this area at 8:10 or 8:11 actually, when it was driving around that first time. Okay, so this is the time when he said he went to McDonald's and he did this weird rigmarole over here. Oh, you want to go to McDonald's? Oh, I did a U-turn here, and then I turned around and came back, etc., etc., etc. So that was at 8:11. Then he drives all the way down here. 8:11's right in this area. And then he makes his way down here, and then at 8:19, he actually comes around to the front of the complex, comes through the front area, and she is again seen in the front seat, leaning back. And in one of these shots, they actually see her mouth kind of agape. It's open. It's just sitting, she's leaning, slumped over. And that's at 8:19. And then he leaves again at 8:31. So we kind of wonder what he did between 8:19 and 8:31 when he went back into the apartment. Apparently, Jennifer is in the apartment, and she's still in her room, and Stefan goes in there to get something or to do something. I guess we don't know what that is currently, but Jennifer didn't get out of bed until 9 o'clock. And then at 8:31, the vehicle leaves the complex again, and this is the last time Madeline is seen on the complex security camera. She's still sort of slumped over and mouth open. And so it's, what makes you wonder is, what did Stefan Stearns do with Madeline's body when he went back at 8:19? He goes to the house. Did he leave her propped up, or did he kind of lean her down and put a blanket over her really quick? And then when he took off again, he sets her back up again to make it look like she's alive still. And then he heads off and he goes back up towards the school. So you see at 8:39, the vehicle's in this area. So I don't know if the vehicle drove up from this direction and came in, behind, but that was 8:39. Then 8:41 right there. Then the vehicle seen at 8:48 right in this area. And then heading on up, we have 8:58 right here. And then the vehicle seems to be doing all kinds of stuff over here. It goes over 9:16 in this area at a gas station. And then 9:35 kind of over here. And this is the Holiday Inn right here. So the address they gave for this area is actually what they meant for the Holiday Inn right here. So let's see what it says about that. On March 1st, 2024, Detective Leonard Jones responded to the area of Destination Parkway and John Young Parkway to canvass for evidence. During that time, Detective Jones responded to Holiday Inn Club Vacations, located at 9271 South John Young Parkway, Orlando, Florida, 32819. While reviewing the surveillance, Detective Jones observed that at approximately 9:40 a.m., the target vehicle, the silver gray Lincoln MKZ Florida tag IYLL82, turned onto the above business property from Emissary Avenue, then proceeded to their parking garage. While in the parking garage, a male wearing a dark hat, red shirt, and tan pants exited the vehicle and opened the trunk. The male then walked to the front passenger side of the vehicle, opened the door, and proceeded to carry what appeared to be a limp body to the trunk of the vehicle. I mean, that's just absolutely insane that they got that on camera. So Stefan Stearns obviously was looking for a place after she was displayed being alive, driving around. He was looking for a place to put her body safely into the trunk of his vehicle. He couldn't do it at the apartment complex because he'd have to carry her out and somebody might have seen him do that. But inside this parking garage, he thought would be a really safe place to do it. And then after that, Stefan Stearns leaves the parking garage. And as I just mentioned, it was Emissary Avenue is how the vehicle came in. So maybe like this. This is Emissary right here. So turned in. Maybe it did hang out at this place for a little bit and then pulled in to here. But on the top floor of the parking garage in this Holiday Inn hotel here is where this all went down. Then the vehicle takes off at 9:40. And looks like at about 9:49 is in this area. 9:50 right there. 10:03 making its way near where the school was or is still. And then 10:05 right here. 10:06 right there. And then it keeps heading down. And then eventually at 10:44 is right over here back at the apartment area. You know, Stefan Stearns makes it back home around 10:44, and that kind of corroborates what Jennifer was saying, is that he was home around that time, and they had a conversation. And then who knows what Stefan Stearns did after this. I mean, apparently he goes to a vape shop or something. But we know that at like 12, he leaves the house. And in the documents, it actually shows how the vehicle travels right down 192 like this and makes it into this area. And we have in this area right here where the vehicle is spotted on a camera right here at 112 heading in and 217 coming out. So it takes about 11 or 12 minutes to get from here to the crime scene. So let's say 25 minutes of time is used up. So there's an hour and 5 minutes here. You know, take away 25 minutes and you get about 40 minutes of time. So I would say that he was at the crime scene area for about 40 minutes. And that kind of makes sense. Changing a tire. He also disposed of Madeline's body. Absolute barbarian. He goes down into this area. So here is what it also showed in the documents. This is the location that they showed where the witness described the white vehicle had pulled over, and it's right there. So we've been really accurate on this channel since the beginning, showing you these different locations. Then, let's take a look at this. At 4:05 p.m. hours, I was contacted by Mr. Thomas Carey. He advised he had seen the news conference earlier this date and wanted to report a possible sighting of the suspect vehicle from Monday, February 26, 2024. He stated he saw the suspect vehicle, a silver sedan, pulled off Hickory Tree Road and subject with a tire iron in his hand, wearing a black shirt and green hat, on backwards, standing near the vehicle, and he had made eye contact with the subject. I mean, look at that, the backwards baseball cap. This guy had really good memory, and Stefan Stearns, he almost always wears his baseball caps backwards. He stated he was not exactly sure of the time, but it was around 1:20, and that makes absolute sense. Now, if we go back to this area over here, I mean, it was 1:12, and it takes 12 minutes, like I say, so it'd be 1:24. So he's very accurate, very close to the correct time. I asked Mr. Carey if he would mind stepping out of his vehicle and showing me on a map of the exact location. Using my agency-issued laptop, I pulled up a satellite view of Hickory Tree Road around Brighton Road, and Mr. Karras navigated the map to the location he saw the subject at on Monday, February 26, 2024. The latitude and longitude of the location he pointed out were noted, and that was 28.191031, comma, negative 81.202160. And when you put that in, it puts you right at the crime scene location, which is right here. And Mr. Karras shared via airdrop to my work cell phone photos he took of the spot that day, March 1st, 2024, for reference. Those photos were later emailed to Kissimmee Police Department. The location provided by Mr. Karras was passed along to Sergeant Swan, Captain Mingione, and Major Hinderman as a point of interest at the command post. Well, this Thomas Karras individual here is the absolute, I mean, he was the quintessential witness in this case. If he didn't exist, it's very likely that Madeline still wouldn't have been found even to this day. And this is also in the document. And if you remember, this is where on my channel we showed you where the crime scene was early on based on the helicopter footage, and they have a like a Faro scan image. This isn't really, you know, this might be just a top view Faro scan. So if you had the actual software, you might be able to rotate it and look from down here, or maybe this is another type of an export, don't know. But see how her body was found between sort of like the main tree number 1 and main tree number 2, and apparently right over here there was a couple tire fragments found, and I'm sure those will match up to Stefan Stearns' vehicle. So let's go down to Street View here. And this is where we've had the pin the whole time, right inside there. That's where the crime scene is. And it also said in the documents that they had to get the owner of the property to come over and open the gates to get in. And so we don't know if the gate was open or not. Like, was there somebody doing work on the farm that day and the gate was open and Stefan Stearns just was able to walk through? But if not, he would have had to be carrying Madeline's lifeless body and then sort of like throw it over the fence and then climb over and then walk around and put her over there. And man, in this spot, he must have had to look both ways really quick to see if anybody was coming. Like, as you can see, there's a car coming right there, so he wouldn't have done it like that. But he would have been standing over here by his car, waiting and timing it where there was no cars. Then he ran over really quick and then just quickly ran behind here because he'd want to get back there as fast as possible. And then he probably ducked down back there quietly and hid. And then he put the body there. Then he came back out. And then he probably literally finished changing his tire. And when he was changing his tires, probably right when this individual saw him, the witness, because he isn't going to want to be changing his tire before he took the body out of the vehicle, obviously. So he took the body out of the trunk, ran over here, and put her body here. And also, you know, having the trunk open, it allows it to stay open while he runs because it just looks like somebody's fixing a tire. So perhaps he actually propped the car up first, then opened the trunk. I don't know if he thought through all this. A lot of this just seems so disorganized, and that it wasn't a planned homicide, perhaps. It just seems so convoluted. He's seen on virtually a million different cameras. He's all over the place. He doesn't really have a great story or alibi. Everything collapses in on himself. It just doesn't work. All right, so at this point, he takes off, and he goes back out the same way, actually. So he goes back out this way. I thought at one point that he went out this way, but he might not even have known where he was. I thought maybe he went out this direction and would go to 192, because 192 goes all the way back around. However, he did go back out the same way he came, because he goes by the school here again at 217, and then he drives out. Now, we don't really know what he was doing after that, all the different places he went to, but it does show that he drives all the way back into the area here, and then he drives around. Who knows if he goes to the vape shop again and so forth. But what we do know is that at 4:35, he goes back to the dumpster again. Captain Mingione and I entered the property on the west side of Hickory Tree Road. We walked to the north for a few minutes near Round Bay Bales. Captain Mingione and I entered the property on the west side of Hickory Tree Road. We walked to the north for a few minutes near round hay bales, covered in plastic. Then we went to the left, south side of the gate, where there is a long line of tall bamboo trees. Captain Mingione noticed just a few feet into the bamboo tree line what appeared to be blue jeans. As we got closer, we noticed what appeared to be a body. The top half of the body was covered by a green-colored hooded sweatshirt, and the bottom half was covered with blue jeans. The body was laying on the left side in somewhat of a fetal position. It appeared that the body was covered by pieces of hay or dry grass. Based on my training and experience, it was apparent this was a human body. I did not see any signs of life. I could clearly see flies covering the body. I mean, how sad is that? It's also interesting that she was wearing blue jeans. And I remember the interview on body camera inside Jennifer Soto's mom's insurance business. Stefan Stearns mentioned like black pants, and then Jennifer corrected and said, no, black shorts. So I don't know where that came from. Was that just like his story, but she thought she was wearing the black short? I don't know why Jennifer would even know what she was wearing, because, as she said, she never even saw Madeline on the 26th. So basically, everything that she was going to be saying would be something that Stefan Stearns would have told her. And then did he once tell her that she was wearing black shorts and then change it to black pants, and then she corrected it back to the black shorts? I guess we'll never know the answer to that question, or maybe we will at some point. Who knows? Then, this is pretty interesting. So after Stefan Stearns makes it back into the complex, he goes to the dumpster at 4:35. At 4:35 hours, multiple cameras captured Stearns arriving to the trash compactor in the silver Lincoln sedan. Stearns is wearing what appears to be a blue shirt and a dark color hat worn backwards. Stearns walked to the compactor, opened the door, and returned to his vehicle. Stearns removed a damaged tire, what appeared to be the tread of the tire, with no walls. Stearns threw the tire into the compactor. I submitted video, which I captured on cell phone, to evidence.com under this case number. Here's what we know is going to happen. The two pieces of tire tread that they found at the crime scene location, where he had to park the car to change his tire, they are going to be able to match those parts, those pieces, to the treads he threw into the trash can, or the trash compactor, I guess they call it. So these are the main points that I wanted to get at in today's video. I think it's just absolutely insane, the stuff that was going on. Having her propped up, almost like Weekend at Bernie's. I mean, what a ridiculous person this is. Driving around, had no effect on anything. Why would he keep going back and forth? I mean, she was in the car propped up from 7:50 at minimum to 8:31. I mean, that's, what is that? 40 minutes of time where she's just propped up in the car and she's not alive. What the hell was he doing in that car? Was he talking to her too, like some just psycho? Stefan Stearns is an absolute monster and a whack job. All right, so I hope you guys found this video interesting. I found all of this stuff interesting, and I think I'm going to be on Court TV tonight for a few different segments. So maybe I think it's at the 6 o'clock hour, the second hour. So make sure to check that out. But thank you all very much for watching. And if you could do something for me right now and hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Thank you again. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.